Hi, all. This is Dr. J streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was cold and crisp for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and happy Mother's Day to all you family members who happen to have mothers. Nothing like a mother. Remember, you heard this from Dr. J. Nobody is ever going to love you like your mother. So treat them nice all year round, not just one day a year. If you have your mother, you're a lucky person. Okay, so having said that, let's talk about the stock market. President Trump is continuing his rhetoric, his get tough rhetoric with China. That's not helping the futures, which are down last I looked about 30 on the S&P. That doesn't look good for tomorrow, but a lot can happen in 12 hours or so. Well, the market is going to open in 12 hours and 9 minutes, so a lot could happen in between. In the meanwhile, and in between time, do your own due diligence. Remember, my opinions are strictly my own, do not constitute investment advice, and we're going to take a look at some interesting biotech stocks, pot stock, tech stock, and the SPYs. So keep your dial right where it is, so to speak. And we're going to do share screen. Oh, by the way, do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Do not forget to write comments. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget what I forgot to tell you, whatever that is. Let's go from right to left because I want to start with the spiders, which, as I said before, are down somewhat big time right now, the futures, that is. It had a very good day on Friday, closing up 0.5%, 1.44 on the SPY, and the SPX futures are what's up with about down about 30. So that would translate to about a 1% move down on the spiders. So 1% would not be good. That would take us probably back down to the lows of where we were on Friday. That was the lows were 282.30. No, I think it'll be more like the middle. We'd open right around the middle of the Friday's candle if the futures remain the way they are, which is not good, but not a disaster. We had a big range on Friday. I mean, we had a turnaround day. It was looking pretty dismal, down to 282.30, and yet we closed at 288.10 with a high even higher at 289 or close to it. What don't I like about yet Friday? Friday candle looks pretty good, long bottom shadow, which I like. And it finished nearly at the top of the day, at the high of the day. But it did have a little pullback in the last half an hour that took it away from the resistance level up here around 290, 289. So I want to see it go past that 289 level. And I think it can get there. Maybe not at the open, obviously. But maybe we have a repeat of Friday. I mean, all this rhetoric, all this talk seems to spook the market early, and by the end of the day, it says, maybe it's not all that bad. Comes back. So we'll see whether Monday the stock market wants to make a statement to President Trump or not. If it does, it could be down significantly. And if it does go down significantly 1 or 2 days in a row, I think President Trump would have no choice but to make a deal with China. Because one thing he doesn't want to do is crash the markets and bring the economy down into a recession. That would hurt his chances tremendously in 2020. So yeah, it looks good to be tough on China for now, but if he doesn't win this battle of poker, bluffing, or whatever they're doing back and forth, I think ultimately, if he doesn't win soon and the markets start reflecting that panic, then I think he will make a deal, a much weaker deal than what he would like. So it's going to be very interesting to play out how it plays out between China and the US over the next few days or even weeks. In the meanwhile, it'll be interesting to see how the markets hold up. I have a feeling that if things don't resolve quickly, the markets will not have tremendous patience, so that we could get a further pullback and a violent nature, 300-400 points in a day, maybe one or two or even 3 days of that in a row. Market goes down, if the Dow goes down, let's say 1,000 points inside of 3 days, that would shake up the Washington, I think. So we'll see. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it happens, I think the market would force Trump to make a deal that would be less beneficial to the country than what he's hoping to make. And let's hope he is as good a negotiator as he claims he is, and he pulls it off, and we have a really winning deal with China. That would be beneficial to our economy. Meanwhile, the farmers are taking it on the chin. The consumers are already paying more for certain items, and it's going to just get worse if the trade war escalates. It can only end badly. So, all right, enough about the trade war. What's going to happen tomorrow? I already said I think it opens just about where the futures are now. Let's say right around 284, 4 points down, or even a little bit higher, 284.5, and probably we'll have a repeat of Friday, go down lower. I don't think it'll make a new low. I think Friday's low of 282.30 will hold, and then it'll finish. I don't know where it finishes today, but it will turn around off of let's say this level here to maybe the low of the day before, 283.30. So maybe it comes back down to test 283.30 area and closes back up around the moving average, which is at 286.66. So if I had to guess, I'd say we're going to end up down for the day, but not by nearly as much as the lows of the day. Just kind of like a wishy-washy Monday, where it looks like it's really going to sell off big and then doesn't, but still doesn't end up green. Friday was a spectacular day because we ended up green. I think Monday we see more of the same, but we end up red on the day. So that's how I see the markets for Monday. Shaky, but not collapsing. Not yet, anyway. AMD, this one had a very nice day Friday. Beautiful day right from the get-go. It opened at 2703. It made a high of 2810, and it closed at 2795 right off the high. But it did pull back in the last half an hour or so, and it pulled back off of resistance, which I don't love. So just like the SPY, I would think we get a downward open, maybe midway through this candle, 2740, something like that, 2750. probably 27.50 would be a good guess for the open tomorrow. And of course, a lot can happen in 12 hours, and the spiders could turn around into positive territory for whatever reason. And in that case, I think AMD will continue green, open green, and have a sensational day, maybe even take out the high at 29.15. How's that? Sensational. So it'll either be dismal, open midway through the candle, but not too dismal, because I don't think it's going to make a lower low than it did on Friday, which was not that terrible, 26.93. So I see 26.93 to be support, right around there. And if it drops down to like $27, I think a lot of buyers will come in, and just like the SPY, we might get a close just below the high of the day, or just below the close yesterday, for a tiny red doji type of day with a long downward shadow and not much of a body, but maybe whatever body there is probably be red. If indeed the futures continue as negative as they are, I think it does affect AMD as well as a bunch of other stocks. I mean, if the S&P, if the spiders are down 3%, then on the day, at least at any given point of the day, you better believe that most of the stocks are not going to be in the green. Let's take a look at CYTK. CYTK. This is a name that I've talked about from time to time, Cytokinetics. They have, I believe, a collaboration agreement with Amgen on a heart, what is it, a heart failure drug, I believe it is. That basically, I think this strengthens the muscle, and the heart is, after all, a muscle. So basically, I think it increases the pumping action of the blood, which is, I guess, what you want to do in heart failure patients. But I'm not sure too much about the mechanism. I did look into it once, the technicals, the fundamentals a little bit more, how that drug works. But the important thing is that there was an earnings report, the CEO spoke, and the stock responded. That's what's important. It took off, boom, to $10, straight line. It actually hit 10.39 on a day before pulling back to 10.07. Beautiful day, beautiful big green candle. Something for CYTK shareholders like myself to put a smile on our face. So this helped put a smile on Dr. J's face on Friday. But like all the other stocks that I taught, like SPY, like AMD, if it's a week, if stocks are weak on Monday morning, as I think they will be, I think we get a pullback to about the 950 level. And at that point, I think the markets stabilize and make a little bit of a run up. So will CYTK. So even though it's a biotech that kind of has a mind of its own, most biotechs will follow the general market, whether it's up or down. So I would see that being a big drag on CYTK that finally has some positive momentum. On the negative side, it made a second high just below the high of 320. The high of 320 was, what was that high? I don't know. I'm not seeing it for some reason. The high was about 1043. And the high of the day The high of the day on Friday was 1039. So this high is lower than this high. We have what could be a double top. Double tops are not my favorite. I don't like double tops. So if indeed over the next couple of days, trading days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we see it hovering, this stock pull back to the 950 level, it may have a really tough time going past that 1045 level, 1044, 43, whatever. So this is a very important area for it to break, this 1044, 1043 area. Now that we have this double top from Friday, May 10th, between Friday, May 10th, and I don't know what day of the week, March 20th. So this is a clear-cut double top type pattern, which, like I said, if that holds any length of time, that would trouble me. Chronos, but I do like it in the long run. I like the fact that Amgen is very positive on this stock, and I like its prospects. I think it probably will do well in the trials. I think when the data is read, there may be some really nice results. Chronos. Chronos is my biggest pot holding, followed closely by Canopy Growth. It had a nice day on Friday that also helped my mood. I had a pretty good Friday all in all, with most of my stocks nicely in the green. Another one that I got a small position in, thanks to Musketeer, SWIR, had a nice pop. I mean, like so many of my stocks had nice pops on Friday that, I had almost like a euphoric feeling. I'm sorry I couldn't vlog. I had a lot of family commitments Friday, Saturday, even today, Mother's Day. So I'm finally able to take a little time and chat with you, with my viewers, with my subscribers. I missed you. I hope you missed me. Anyway, Chronos, 1540 at the close on Friday, up $1.31, what, 9.3%. Wow, nice move. Of course, it had been in a dire nosedive. It had been the falling knife. It was giving me what's known as conniptions. But I said to myself, I didn't say it to you, if it goes any lower than where it actually closed on Thursday, I was going to be a buyer. Even though I have a lot of it, I was going to add. I still may add. I want to see it take out the high of the day on Thursday, which was 1590, before I add some more, because even though we have this bullish green harami after a downtrend, I have little confidence in that pattern. It does look pretty good, though. I must say it's come in the right place, that harami. So it's an inside day that's green. It's kind of like, it's not as strong an indicator as an engulfing candle, but it is an indicator of a possible turnaround. So if Chronos takes out the Thursday high 1590, I probably will add to my Chronos for fear of missing out, FOMO, FOMO. I don't want to miss out being able to buy low and sell high. CVM, this is Cellside Corporation. We all know about that because I've spoken about the multi-kind drug about the head and neck cancer trials, phase 3. The CEO, Gersten, what's his name? Gert Kirsten, and the fact that we're waiting on a data readout. We're waiting on the conclusion of a phase 3 trial that had about 900 participants. Very big head and neck cancer trial for squamous cell cancer, which is very deadly. So any extension of life would be significant. And I think the endpoint is that it should improve results by 10% or more. That would be survival rates by 10% or more. And I think in phase 2, it did just that. So there's, outside of numbers being greater in phase 3, I see no reason why it shouldn't replicate phase 2. And we do get the kind of results that would point CVM towards approval, maybe towards a buyout. Who knows? I mean, really good results. And this market cap of 267 million could become 2.6 billion. So it could be a big run up on the stock price. Any negative data report, look out below. So I'm optimistic. I've been adding on any dip I can get. And we'll see what happens. Eventually, the trial will come to an end. We're waiting for enough events, quote unquote, meaning deaths, so that this median overall survival can be calculated from the trials. And of course, there's something that I don't like about that having to wait for that, but it seems to me like the longer it takes for that to happen, the more likely the success factor, the more likely it is to succeed in meeting its endpoints. So with each month that passes before data readout, before the end of the trial, I would think you're going to see further upside, maybe a point a month. How's that? So $11 by mid-August. 11 by mid-August. If it hits 11, I'll sell some. Just like I said, when we hit 7, I would sell some. I did, and I bought it back plus. So if it hits 11, I will sell some. I don't know how much. I won't sell psi, but I'll sell some sell psi. Athx. This is my biggest holding, and I'm slightly underwater, not much. Been holding this a long time. I don't like it hovering below my average, but what am I going to do? I'm not going to get rid of it. I am what's known as pot committed in poker. I am pot committed. So if anything, I've been buying on dips, not selling. Hopefully I don't have to buy on any more dips. I have enough shares. I want to see this run above $1.77. What is this high? Take out this high on 125 of $1.77. I think we're off to the races. I think just like CVM, this will only do better as we come towards the conclusion of the treasure trial for ischemic stroke in Japan, utilizing the athx drug multi-stem. We have a multi-kine and a multi-stem. It gets a little confusing. Of course, athx is a stem cell company, regenerative medicine, but the use is as an anti-inflammatory here, and apparently there's every reason to believe it's going to be very good results because uh, because of what we said the last time. There was a phase 2 trial that didn't meet endpoints, and the reason is that too much time was allowed for people to have the drug administered after the stroke. And they're shortening the window in this trial to, what is it, 36 hours, I believe, which is still significantly more than the current standard of care, which you really have to administer within 4 hours. It's a drug that's a clot buster. I forget what the initials are. ATP, whatever it is. Too many initials for Dr. J. In any event, there's only really that one drug on the market for stroke, and it has its limitations. So there's plenty of room for another drug to become the standard of care, and it could be this one. So that's the biggie. Of course, there are other trials going on, one for acute respiratory distress syndrome, and I believe one for myocardial infarction. But the one of major interest is ischemic stroke. Okay, so I think we covered a lot of ground. I'm going to come back and stop screen sharing and return to you guys to say good night, to say sayonara, to say au revoir, to say adios amigos, to say shalom, to say arrivederci, to say don't forget to subscribe, to say where the heck did the picture go? Where is my face? Ah! Scared you, didn't I? All right, so with that, please subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about us, write comments, give me a thumbs up. Adios, hasta mañana. I can't think of any other ways to say goodbye, although I'm sure there are. I have to stop that broadcast, otherwise it'll keep going. Stop broadcast.